everyone. Welcome back to the show. This week on the podcast, we have Jeremy Grant from Backstage Wellness. Jeremy is a trombone player and served as an active duty musician in the U.S. Air Force. He performed over 2,000 concerts across 30 states and 24 countries. And now he has transitioned into building a health and wellness business for musicians. And I thought this was so great to have him on because this is exactly what more musicians need. Tools and resources and strategies to play the long game. There are too many people who are burning out, too many musicians who are having to quit early because of injury. So I just really appreciated this conversation to talk about preventative measures to take care of our bodies and our minds. Whether you're on the road with concerts or whether you're at home teaching your studio, I hope that this episode will speak to you. He even gave me some specific tips about how not to hate burpees. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the episode to catch that. If you are listening, I would love to ask you to share this with a friend. Just hit that share button, put it on WhatsApp or Instagram or Facebook if you still use that. But please spread the message to any musician in your life that you love, that you want to have a long and healthy career. The more that you share the Fearless Artist message, the more musicians we can impact. And that is really our heart behind why we do this. So I hope you enjoy the episode. As always, thanks for listening, and let me know what you think by sending me a DM, the Fearless Artist Mastermind on Instagram. See you on the other side. Hi there, and welcome to the Fearless Artist Podcast, where we empower classical musicians to build their own thriving careers. I'm your host, Michelle Lynne, and together with Deanna Petre, we teach artists to conquer the entrepreneurial side of their careers and create the futures they want.
We are two freelance classical musicians who have lived and worked in Europe for a decade, and together we started the Fearless Artist Mastermind, a coaching company created to teach classical musicians how to overcome fear and take action on building their dream careers.
In each episode, we will explore the intersection of artistry and entrepreneurship, teaching you the fearless mindset with practical steps and strategies to build a sustainable career.
Get ready to build your own artistic brand, find a supportive community of musicians so that you don't have to figure out everything alone, and earn a living that you deserve.
We believe that you can be a thriving artist and not a starving one, and we are redefining what it means to be a classical musician in the modern era. I'm your host, Michelle Lynne, and today I'm very happy to have on Jeremy Grant from Backstage Wellness. Jeremy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So we connected recently on Instagram and we were chatting in the DMs, and you were telling me that you have a health and wellness business initiative for musicians. So I would love to hear about it, and if you could introduce yourself to our audience.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on again. Hello, everybody. I'm Jeremy Grant. So I am a classically trained trombone player. I've been a professional musician since 1992. Don't do the math. I'm 50. I'll just tell everybody it's fine. I'm okay with it. And then for 20 years, I played music in the Air Force, the U.S. Air Force band system. Traveled the world playing music. I've gotten to play music in 24 different countries, 30 different U.S. states. I loved it. I got paid to play the trombone. It was great. And it was in that time in the service that I had to do, yearly fitness tests and maintain physical fitness. And it was through that time I was like, wait a minute, when I'm doing certain things, when I'm eating good food, when I'm getting sleep, when I'm exercising, playing trombone feels just a little bit easier. And so through that, I started connecting those points together. And then friends of mine were like, hey, Jeremy, I need to get better at running or better at push-ups. And I was like, well, let's figure this out. How do we do this? And so then I've been helping friends in the Air Force probably for the last 15, 17 years. And then right before I was going to retire from that, I was like, what do I want to do when I grow up and walk away from this job? And I was like, I learned about health coaching. And so like, what does that mean? I get to help people with all aspects of their holistic health. And so I became a certified health coach, certified personal trainer, and certified nutrition coach.
Wow.
And now I'm doing that for musicians, trying to help them be their best selves so they can go out and perform, so I can go out and listen to them forever.
Wow. Beautiful. Such necessary work. I learned in university that 85% of musicians will get injured at some point in their careers. So I know how important preventative measures are.
Yes.
Tell me more about why you chose to work with musicians.
uh, Michelle, it's what I am. I'm a
Yeah.
musician, and I feel that a lot of other people get looked at as a musician. I want to take care of the people making the music.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of studies out there that about how music is healing, music is wonderful for everybody else. But I care about the people making the music.
Yeah.
I care about you being on stage and feeling your best so you can give your best performance more than how it impacts the others. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I wanted to work with musicians, mainly because I am one, and
Yeah.
that's the people that I love the most. I love musicians and artists.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah, that's great. Anything to keep us going is so necessary.
yes, yes.
So, yeah, I've always wanted to know what is in the annual what did you say, the measuring that you have to do in the force,
Oh yeah, our fitness test.
the air
Yeah,
fitness test.
yes.
What's included? Because
Um,
I mean, I've seen the TV shows, the movies where they have to do all the calisthenics and stuff, but I'm sure it's not,
yeah,
or maybe it is real life. I don't know. You can tell me.
real life ish.
Okay.
I feel like the movies are going for like Navy SEALs or the super athletic ones. So the annual fitness test for most of us, once I retired, was I think right now it's a 2 mile run, push ups, sit ups, and there used to be a waist measurement. I think they're bringing the waist measurement back. So
Ooh.
kind of a body shaming job. Yeah, it was pretty
Ooh.
brutal. Yeah, so now it's a 2 mile run. It used to be a mile and a half.
Okay.
So that was the Air Force, and of course, like the Army has a little bit more, Marine Corps has a little bit more. I'm not sure what the Navy is right now, but they're all kind of in that realm. No, I
And
know the Air
this
Force.
run.
Yeah, the Army does more like kettlebell stuff. They're doing shuttle runs.
Okay.
It seems fun in a sadistic way, but
So how did your colleagues handle this when this test came around every year? Is it something that they just kind of grin and bear it, or is it something that they take seriously and they train for?
I mean, you have to take seriously. At one point, they did make it a point of contention for promotions for keeping your job.
Oh, okay.
They had it. Yeah, they were trying to trim the force for a while, and so if you failed three in a row, they would show you the door, and you got exited from your job.
Okay.
And so I was like, hey, this is a silly way to lose our job. We know it's coming every year, so let's prepare for it. Um, Certain people prepared more than others. Some people were There's some people out there that are just fit all the time that love
Hmm.
it. Other people that they really struggled,
Hmm.
and so there was the whole gamut. But there were people that I like to work with, like, hey, where are you struggling? A lot of people struggle with the push-ups, and so I was like, let's get it to where you're not anxious going in there. It doesn't have to be terrible. Let's make this joyful,
Okay, we need
and
to
just
talk. We
another.
need. This is so great
Yeah.
because I need you for burpees. So tell me
Okay.
about your approach. Like when people are struggling, you mentioned holistic. I would also love for you to expand on that. Like,
Yeah.
what is the approach that you use with your musician clients?
So the approach I use with musicians is the similar approach I use with everybody. Um, where I love working with musicians is we've dedicated so much time to this craft. So like we have this dedication, we have this idea of being able to work, so we're not afraid of work. Sometimes it's just how we focus it in. So what I like to do is, so if you and I were working together, and you come to me for whatever reason, we're going to talk a little bit and like where are you struggling? What are some of the obstacles that you think you're facing? Um, and what ends up happening is we through these conversations, we're like, oh well, maybe it's not actually what we thought. Maybe you're struggling because we're not getting consistent sleep, or we're
Hmm.
not recovering through food, or or maybe it is just a physical. I hate exercise, so I don't do it, and the more I don't do it, the harder it is, type
Hmm.
type thing. And so I work with individuals to find where we excel, where our sticking points are, where we want to go, and then we bridge the gap between between those two things, where we are and where we want to be.
Hmm.
Just like we would in the practice room. I want to be. If I'm a young pianist and I see you on stage at the candlelight concerts, um, I want to go do that. Where am I now? How do I get there? Same thing with health and fitness.
Okay, so where is one of the major kind of pain points that your clients have when they come to you? Or is it a mixed bag?
It's a mixed bag. I think a lot of mixed bag, but the majority of it is going to be time.
Okay, right.
Time,
Yeah.
and not knowing where to start. I think
Hmm.
are the two big ones.
Yeah, we hear that all the
Because we
time that
don't.
musicians don't have time. So I'm glad that you're mentioning this. So yeah, please
Yeah.
continue.
No, like I was listening to your Vision and Vibes podcast that you did in January. I was in the car and I was like, I have to stop because I want to take notes because it was so great. And listeners, if you haven't listened to that one yet, turn me off for 30 minutes, go listen to that, and then come back because it will
Huh.
all make better sense.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Because it was perfect. And I totally forgot the question.
Oh, we were talking about like where nobody has time anymore.
Yeah, it time thing. And so, I feel a lot of us New Year's resolutions. I'm gonna stop eating sugar, and I'm gonna exercise every day for an hour. Um, Forgetting that we have a real life, forgetting that sugar is really good. First of all,
Yeah.
I, I'm not gonna stop eating desserts.
Right. I posted
Maybe
that
less
today.
desserts. You did, yeah, I saw that.
So,
Um,
yeah,
I did catch the joke. I liked
yeah,
it.
that was good. Thank you.
Yes. So what I like to do is starting with what time do you have? What are you willing to do? I feel like everything is an investment. And so what are you willing to invest in your own health? And if you can give me 5 or 10 minutes starting today, then that's where we're going to start. And as things progress, as we get going, as you realize, hey, this actually does make me feel good. So I want to give myself more time, we can grow. Um, but oftentimes when we start with, I have to go for an hour, and then the perfectionist ideas do all or nothing mentality.
That's huge.
Suddenly we don't have an hour. Well, I might as well not go do it, and might as well then everything starts to snowball from there.
Right.
So finding out like what are we willing to do on our hardest day? What time do we have on our hardest day? So that way, when it's our best day, we maybe have more time.
Yeah, and that comes from James Clear. I saw you shared that to your stories
Yes.
today. So this idea of what can I sustain? Can you talk about this? Because I feel like I'm preaching this all the time. Like when it comes to goal setting, we need to be thinking about the version of us in 6 months from now, not the version tomorrow, and what that person is can handle.
Yeah. I see. I think a lot of times, like I like to go back to the what can today's version of me handle?
Mm,
Because
hmm.
right now, my struggle today is going to be different than my struggle in 6 months.
Hmm.
Same thing like with my business or your business or whatever else. Like hopefully we're the busy that we want in 6 months.
Right.
But like right now, what can I handle today? Where am I mentally? Where am I physically? Do I have any pain points? Do I have am I actually injured? What can I do today? And if we start with today, start with that 5 minutes. That's where I love the idea of what's the smallest step. And if somebody says I can give you or I can give myself 15 minutes, like all right, great. What can we do in 15 minutes? Or I could walk around the block and that's all I have. Or one vegetable. Like let's eat
Hmm.
one fruit or vegetable today and that's a win. And I celebrate the wins. Just, not to mention your album again. Everybody she has a new album out one step at a time, but like it is one step at a time. And
Right.
it really is like I really do believe that. And it's sustainable habits that we start to build and sustainable wins that we start to build. Like I did this, I followed through today, and that helps me show up even better tomorrow.
How do you like to help your clients track over time to see the sustainable small steps that they're taking?
Tracking is always an iffy one.
Okay.
Like a lot of it is whatever you're willing to do. Um, I don't, I've tried journaling multiple times, habit journals, any kind of journals. It's not my happy place. And so it causes more stress.
Got it.
But I wear a Garmin watch. And so I can go back and look at, did I get steps? Did I exercise? How many, it tracks my exercise for the week. And so I can go back and look at that. If somebody loves to journal, we can do that. We can create a habit journal. We could do um, the idea of checking it off on a calendar every day that you follow through with your thing. It's totally individual, which is why I just don't sell a cookie cutter program. It'd be easy just to go like, here's 10 exercises, eat this food. But that doesn't work for everybody. So
Hmm.
what works for you is not going to work for me. It's, maybe work for somebody else or not. And so we figure out what does work and start from there.
So when somebody does come to you, let's say they only have 10 minutes, like what is your holistic
Yeah.
approach? What do you see or where to start with someone who's just beginning?
Great question. I think that the real answer is we're going to start what you're willing to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but with that being said, like I think, exercise, nutrition, sleep, stress management are huge things, and like that holistic idea of it, being happy at work, um, making money, as
Yeah.
you guys talk about all the time, all that factors into our overall health. Um, where I think the easiest block sometimes is starting with physical activity,
Mm-hmm.
because once we move our bodies, um, we start to want to take care of the other things. And I
Right.
think that's that's a bigger rock that's easier to move. So like if I'm going to go for a walk, if I'm going to go for a run, suddenly I want to eat better because it feels better to run after eating great food as opposed to a giant burrito or something like that. So I'm like, oh, I want to feel better when I do this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to maybe eat better food, and now I notice I'm getting better sleep, and so when I get better sleep, all these things start to be better. Um,
Sounds like a chain
I don't think
reaction.
yeah, I don't think physical activity is the most important piece in that, but I think it's the easiest one to start to build momentum.
Okay. What would you say is the most important piece?
I think it's a tie between sleep or stress management.
Okay.
I don't think we talk about recovery enough. And I
Let's talk
think,
about it. Let's talk about it because
yeah,
I'm
let's
that's where
talk
I'm
about it.
finding myself. My schedule was really insane until around February. Then things really slowed down. So I have found myself in this recovery period, and I've just been sleeping so much, and then
Mhm.
really worried that I'm sleeping so much. But I'm trying to tell myself that it's part of the ebb, part of the flow. So anyway, maybe you can speak into that.
No, I love it. I think sleep, when we're not getting good sleep, I think nothing good happens. Um, we've all heard about the people that are hangry, when they get angry when they're hungry. Like I don't know what I would call it, but I'm really angry and irritable when I'm tired. Um,
Okay.
and so I think recovery is a huge one. Our bodies recover, our minds recover. We have better memory recall. We have better everything when we're getting good sleep. So I think falling short on that, we're doing ourselves a disservice. And I think the stress piece relates to sleep, because when we're stressed, when we're worried, when we're anxious going to bed, that now impacts our sleep. And then somebody's maybe going to hear this and go like, oh, but now I'm worried about sleep. And it's just another snowball.
Right.
But I think like the stress as well of staying in that fight or flight mode really does impact all of that. Like how we exercise, how we relax, how we downregulate, really matters.
Mhm.
So we can recover. So our bodies do heal.
Hey everyone, real quick, before we continue with the episode, I just wanted to take a minute and let you know about our community, Fast Forward. Fast Forward is the place for classical musicians to gather, have great conversations, and set clear goals so that you know that you are making progress. Because what is probably happening in your life is that you are way too busy, your schedule's packed, you're running from admin to gig to rehearsal to concert, and you don't actually stop and take time and check, am I building the career that I want to have, or am I just running to the next thing? I know this is exactly why Deanna and I created the community in the first place, because we wanted to have a place to stop and check, where's my time going? Where's my energy going? And am I happy with that? And in these calls, what we do is group coaching, conversations, and then we do breakout rooms where people can go deeper, connect with each other, and be really inspired so that you know that you are making progress and pursuing things that matter to you, because you're building a fearless career. If you want to come to a free call, you are absolutely welcome. You just need to DM us Fast Forward, and we will get you all the details to join your first call absolutely free. It also includes every single workshop that we have at the Fearless Artist, including our recent workshop, Next Level Negotiation, the pitching workshop that we've done, and anything that we do within Fast Forward is included in the membership. So don't miss out. Join us today. Send us a DM, Fast Forward, to the Fearless Artist Mastermind on Instagram. And now back to the episode. Enjoy. So what strategies do you recommend to let's talk about stress management. What
Yeah.
do you see with your clients, or what are some specific strategies that we can use around this?
One of my favorite ones, that I use with a lot of clients, I use it with myself, box breathing. I think is one of
Oh.
my favorite. Have you heard of box breathing?
Mm-hmm. I tried
Okay.
it. I
So
learned from Brene Brown. Yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
um, fantastic listen and read of Brene Brown. But box breathing, if nobody's heard of it, you could set a metronome. I count to four. It's roughly a beat per second. But you breathe, inhale for four counts. I do it through my nose. Then I hold that for 4 counts. Exhale through my mouth for 4 counts. Hold that for 4 counts. And I'll do that 3 or 4 times. Especially if like I'm feeling really anxious, if I'm kind of in that starting to kind of feel. I did it right before this just to calm myself down, make sure everything's fine. There's no
Mm-hmm.
saber-toothed tiger trying to get me. I'm talking to a friend on a podcast. It's not, everything's fine, but it's like, reminding our bodies, say, hey, let's down regulate, let's calm down.
Mm-hmm.
We could do that before going on stage. I think it's just a great, slows our heart rate, tells our body we're okay. So doing that anytime, you could do 3 or 4 rounds of that in less than a minute.
Yeah.
I
So
was like
before
massive
sleep,
fan there.
before stage, before maybe sending that email pitch that's stressing you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those you could use anytime. I think another one, a useful one I use for before sleep as well, is just a guided sleep meditation.
Okay.
It often has box breathing in it. Just go on YouTube, or if you have the Calm app or something like that. We have a Peloton, so they have Peloton meditations, and they'll do a sleep meditation, and so I'll do that right before going to bed. And it's like, okay, we're calm, we're good. Now I can go to sleep and take on tomorrow from a fresh start.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That wind down time. I think a lot of musicians skip that step because we come off stage. I know I struggled with this for a long time. We come off stage,
Yeah,
adrenaline's peaking. It's 11:30. By the time I then have to find my hotel, drag my suitcase behind me, take off my makeup, then I start scrolling because I'm like, I need something. I'm so empty. I just poured out everything on stage. I want to eat something. Like, you shouldn't be eating at 11:30, right? But I had to work through all of that and recognize, like, what I said. I poured out everything on stage, and now I need comfort.
yeah. Well, and you need recovery because I think I don't know if we talk enough about how physical of an act performing is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of. I mean, you're working hard up there on the piano, and both mentally and physically, and that drains our bodies, and so we do need food after that. And to your point, like, it's exciting. Performing is exciting. I love being a performer, and I
Mm-hmm.
can't walk off stage and go to sleep. Like, it's not,
Right.
you're kind of wired for a while.
Yeah, that's why I appreciate you talking to specifically musicians, because I've had people talk
Yeah,
about, like, oh, you need a better sleep routine. You need to, and I'm like, do you know that we're on stage until 11 p.m.? Like, that's not fair. We have to work with the constraints of the job.
yeah. And that's the hard part, is figuring that. And like, your story just then of, now I'm going to go to a new hotel. I never sleep good the first night in a new hotel because my
Right.
body doesn't know where we are. And so it's like, oh,
Yeah. What's
what's that
happening?
noise? Somebody coming in, or, whatever. Like, it's just, it's tough to get sleep. And so just like, having a routine that you could do on the road, whether it's, okay, I'm going to get to the hotel and, make it as comfortable as possible. Maybe there's, aromatherapy or whatever. And then, a meditation, or this is going to be my evening snack. And it's okay to eat at night. It's fine. Um, the myth of not eating past 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Don't eat heavy, maybe a burger and fries or something really heavy, because that's going to interrupt your sleep a little bit more just because you're digesting. But,
Right.
light snacks, I think is totally fine and helps your body repair. It's going to help comfort, to your point. But yeah, creating that routine. Like, I love meditation. I have animals, and so it's a lot of spending time with them just before bed, and they like to play a little bit. So it's um, kind of just creating that routine, getting the room cool, or brushing your teeth in quiet or something. Whatever works for you. It's tells our bodies, okay, we're in our minds, we're winding it down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All great tips. I love this. I think creating a routine on the road has been so helpful for me personally. And I think a lot of people, as you're saying, like if you know, like no matter where I am, these are the ways that I calm down, get restored. I love what you're sharing. Going over, so we talked about stress management, talked about sleep. Let's look at food a little bit. Like what are your,
Okay.
you mentioned the vegetable. What else do you kind of, what's a start plan for someone who's coming into this?
I think so. Start plan clearly coming from, I live in America. Statistics are on my side. We're not eating enough fruits and vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
If you go on social media, um, the last probably 2, maybe even 3 years, any influencer that's telling you how to lose weight, it's all protein, 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 protein.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's eat fruits and vegetables first.
Yeah.
If we start with that, you know, majority of our plate should be plants, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying be a vegan. Don't come at me, everybody. I do
I know
eat
a lot of
meat.
vegans actually.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
vegans.
Yeah.
I think it's the gold standard, really. But I think we can all eat more fruits and vegetables. It helps our body's recovery. It helps us helps prevent a lot of our what I call the lifestyle diseases, like diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol. Helps reduce all of that. But it also plants give us energy, like all the
Mm-hmm.
energy that we're looking for to go on stage. It helps us sustain all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go from zero to all plants right out of the gate. If we're eating only a few a day, maybe add one more, so our bodies can adjust to it. But I think that's a big piece that a lot of us are missing, is just eat more fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
Prioritize those first, and then make, if you do eat meat, make that the side dish as opposed to the main dish, and
Got it.
maybe that's just a quarter of your plate, or I like to go by the palm of your hand
Mm-hmm.
is a serving of protein. That's a good guide.
Okay.
Not the 64-ounce giant eating challenges.
Right. Yeah, I know.
Not doing us any favors.
I'm also on the protein kick, but I do the protein powder in the morning. But
Yeah.
yeah, tell me more
Yeah.
about on the road strategies, because I know a lot of people listening are doing that traveling. So I would appreciate anything you tell your clients about. Okay, fruits and vegetables on the road. Like we need to avoid all the fast food places, and how do you navigate this?
So that's a great question. First of all, just going back to protein. Protein is important. I
Yeah,
think that
sure. Yeah.
it is important. I think it's there's no
Sorry, I
one thing
wasn't
is
trying to
more
say otherwise.
important.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah,
I
good.
didn't take it that way. I just
Yeah.
want people to know, like, no,
Yeah.
it's all important. So I think a great strategy for the road, how I help people, stuff I struggled with, because in my job I was constantly on the road.
Yeah, you
Um,
mentioned that. Yeah.
do that same idea of prioritizing. First of all, I never say avoid. Um, I say minimize,
Okay.
because sometimes we don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Um, if you're a touring musician and you're rolling off a van or a bus, and we're at a rest stop, we get
Exactly.
what we get.
Yeah.
And so if I'm just saying avoid X, Y, and Z, and that's pretty much your options, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But so I say start with try our best, making the best decision at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But to that point, if we can prioritize fruits and vegetables, if we could prioritize, I think there's a spectrum maybe of proteins. It's like, let's say baked or grilled chicken is going to be better than fried chicken or chicken nuggets. And
Right.
so if we have those options in front of us, can we make a better choice at the time, and build, what are our building blocks? Like fruits, veggies, protein, maybe a fat, it's like an avocado, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and build from that based on where you are.
Yeah.
So let's say you are at a fast food restaurant. Do they have a salad version, or can we take, maybe a not as healthy bun off of it and eat, ask for more lettuce or something like that, and
Mm-hmm.
try our best at the moment. And then, if we're at a spot where we can curate it a little bit better, then we help ourselves out for our future or future one where maybe we can't make that decision as good.
Yeah. And I appreciate this so much. I also appreciate the sliding scale that you're mentioning, because there are moments where we're stuck. I've seen like the pizza at the backstage room, and that is what the artists get. And
Yeah.
also you can't really push back because you don't want to ruffle feathers all the time, right? So this is what's being offered. Or we've done so many house concerts, and the host prepares a meal, and this is the meal, and you graciously say thank you so much, but it's not always maybe the healthiest. So I appreciate that. Minimize and don't worry about avoiding. Did you have a strategy on the road to stick to any health or eating goals?
It was mostly that, mostly just what is the best choice at the time. Because to your point, we ended up with a lot of pizza and sandwiches backstage being provided to us, and that was, if you're kind of stuck there for lack of a better term, um, you graciously eat it because it's there, and a lot of it was. So let's go with pizza. If that was my choice, how do I not overeat? And so a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times it would be, okay, maybe make a plate, and if I can, leave the room after that, because I'm one of those guys. I love food. I love to eat.
Yeah.
And if I'm in the room and there's still food there, my brain somehow just goes, well, they provided this. I don't want it to go to waste. And
Right.
we look bad for leaving food. So I'm going to go and eat
There are
more and then
starving
feel
children in other
bad.
countries. Yeah, yeah. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm a clean your plate kind of guy. And so, it was just navigate and try your best.
Mm-hmm.
It really was. And so, like, let's say if the provided meal is that really heavy meal or whatever, um, next morning at breakfast, how can I get back to a little bit more normal? So if there's lighter foods, like I love oatmeal, makes my body feel great. If there's fruit there, I'll do that instead of maybe piling on more eggs and bacon and all that. It's like, okay, last night was heavy. Can I go a little bit lighter at least to start? And if I have a chance to decide at this meal, I'm going to try to go as good as I can, because I don't know what's coming later.
Mm-hmm.
So it's,
Yeah,
again,
sounds like
doing your
a
best at the
balance.
time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Balanced approach, doing what you can in the moment, thinking past the current meal and overall.
Yeah.
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 I
And like,
know.
I like to feel like just feeling good on stage. Like if they're feeding you beforehand, if I overeat as a trombone player where I need to breathe and air is key. If I'm over full and can't do that, I'm not going to feel great. Or if now I'm bloated because I've had only salt and haven't drank water in 2 days because of travel, and now my
Yeah.
pants fit weird, that doesn't help me play well. And so, what are the small things that I can do that I know work for me? And that's how I help people. Like, what works for you?
Mm-hmm.
Let me start with that. And just like the sleep routine, what are the things that we can go to help ground and bring normalcy to all of it?
Yeah. Okay, well, let's go there. So, how do you help your clients, and what are some stories that they've come to you with certain things and you've seen transformation, or like one particular person that stands out to you that you could share?
Ooh, I don't know if I was ready for the one you even asked me beforehand, and I was like, yeah, I have stories. I think a lot of
These
it
are just
is
general concepts of how you've helped people or the difference you see.
no, and it's people. I've worked with a lot of people on the road. I've worked with a lot of people who stay at home. So if you're a stay at home musician, building those things, but a lot of it is remembering why you're doing what you're doing, remembering the
Mm,
goal that we had talked about. So maybe if somebody's coming to me with a weight loss goal, which I do help with, it's not my favorite thing. I mean, I love helping people get where they want to go, but there's more to life than a number on a scale, and we're more than the number on the scale, but yeah, it's hard to get past
mm-hmm.
sometimes. But like trying just to remember, like, okay, we're building longevity for a career for our own lives. And so, one individual thing isn't going to hurt us. And so, like, if we're on the road, how do we build a better gas station meal? Um, So we've done that. Like I've built gas station meals and people are like, okay, is this good or bad? And I'm like, there's no good or bad. Is this the best option at the time? Um, but another one has been like a lot through physical activity. That's a grounding piece for a lot of people that I've worked with.
Okay.
Because if you have your morning, like you said, you wake up in the morning and like, can we get outside? Can we get movement?
Yeah.
Like I know you're a runner. I think it's such a fun way to explore a new city.
Yes,
But that was always a
absolutely.
grounding routine for a lot of people. Just like, let's go outside and can we walk? Can we run? Can we just move quietly for a few minutes and reset our own body and brain? And that's helped quite a few people. I'm just like, okay, this is my piece. I can get up. I can go for that run in any town. All we need is shoes. And
Exactly.
we go out and
Yeah.
explore, and then now I can come back and like, okay, I have 30 minutes in the hotel. What do I need to do to get ready to go?
Mm-hmm. No, I love running on the road. It's one of my go-tos for
Yeah.
staying active because it's, as you said, you get to see a new city. I think it's the best way to explore a new
Hmm.
city is to go on a run. I usually try
Yeah.
and find a cafe on the way back. If I'm in Paris, I always get a croissant, which might be canceling out the run, but I don't care because I'm in Paris and I want to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love that. And it, as you said, it's just you need your shoes. Some hotels that I've gotten to do have the gym, so then you can do that. But no, yeah, I really appreciate that. I know a lot of people listening have been struggling with like, the winter blues, myself included. So that morning cardio, I'm learning just even in the last week, reminding myself like this really helps me kind of perk up for the day rather than waiting the whole day for it to kind of pass. I don't know if you've had experience with that.
No, I think I love morning workouts because I feel like it
Mm,
just sets your day up. Um, so there is that rush that your body just feels good
right.
when you do that, and it's like, oh yeah, this is great. It's going to be a good day, and um, to the point of helping people, like finding something that you love, I think is also a key. And so, the run for you, the run for me when I was in new city is like, okay, cool. We get to go and do this. And, um, yeah, if you're in Paris, eat a croissant.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm not that health coach that's going to tell you not to do that because that just seems like bad business to not do that.
Right. Yeah, you gotta enjoy life. I
um,
always leave room for
yeah,
dessert, like we said. Okay.
exactly.
Do you have clients who come to you that are a little bit further ahead in their journey? They've already got the basics down. They're prioritizing sleep, eating well. Like, what do you tell them then, and how do you help them reach the next level?
I do. I've had people are on every stage I've worked with, from beginner to like, I feel like it's going well. Um, what I usually ask instead of tell. So if somebody's coming to me that's already maybe ahead of their journey, or they have, one block full. So like, I have exercise down, I have nutrition down, but maybe I'm struggling with time management or stress management or something like that. And it's through a conversation, we figure out where they want to go and what you think is holding yourself back.
Hmm.
Because we all have the obstacles. I know my obstacles. I don't know everybody else's obstacles. And so like, what are your specific obstacles, right now? And then how do we work to create a plan to work through those? And so it is very individual. I wish I had a better answer for that, but it's very much, you mentioned burpees earlier. Um, you
Yeah.
had
Can you
other
tell me how to
stuff
stop
locked
hating them?
down. Don't do them.
Oh, really? I have to do
No,
80 of
yes.
them next Thursday. I've got a High Rocks coming up. Yeah, not looking forward to that.
So, okay. I think perfect segue, but I think a lot of it is coming to peace with them. This is
Oh,
what I did with when we were talking about physical fitness tests, when we were talking about, you know, I don't like practicing scales,
right.
but it's the foundation. It's what we do. And
Hmm.
so just because I don't like it doesn't mean we don't do it. But with burpees, um, deciding, you know what, I'm going to rock these 80 burpees, and these 80 burpees are afraid of me. And I'm going to
I
be
love this.
the I'm going to be the best at these burpees. And when they show up, I know they're going to be there. Give a hell yeah, let's go, and love them, and then celebrate the movement that you're strong enough to do 80 burpees, because 80 burpees is hard.
Oh, I'm
Um,
aware.
10 bur-
The problem
Yeah.
the problem is I'm not sure I'm strong enough to do them. I'll let you know next Thursday. Yeah.
And but also going into it going, let's see how many we can do. Let's celebrate the strength that I have. And maybe today's strength is 60 and we can't get off the ground. That's still great. If we do 10, that's great. And like any movement is good. And so we celebrate that as opposed to, the failure of not getting 80. Like
It sounds
that's
like you're
not
breaking perfectionism in a number of ways. I love this.
that. Yeah. It doesn't do us any good.
Mm,
And to me, it's held me back more often than not. If you look at
okay.
my Instagram page, it's held me back by not posting because I'm like, oh, it's not perfect yet. It's not the right thing. It's like, I'm trying to
You know what?
steer a parked car.
I appreciated your
And
Instagram because I thought it was very thorough in who you are and what you do. Like typically when I look at someone's Instagram, I can't figure out what they're talking about. And your pinned posts are very clear. And so that's why I felt very comfortable inviting you on, although we hadn't met yet. So I think you're doing
yes.
great on that.
Oh, thanks.
Can we return to the all or nothing mentality? Because I think this is so important. I'm currently writing a course, Killing Perfectionism in Classical. It's like the heart and soul of TFA.
Yeah.
And I hear this all the time, all or nothing. If I can't do the 3 hours of practice, then there's no point in even trying because I'm a failure because I should have planned my day better and all of this kind of mental noise that gets in our way.
Yeah. Mental noise is the right thing. And I think a lot of times, whether it goes back to, New Year's resolutions or anything that we're planning, we set all these things up with a perfect world in mind. Um, and so let's say you're starting out as a freelance musician and maybe you have a job as well. So that's going to take up a chunk of your time, but then we think we're going to do 3 to 5 hours of something else. Or we can bring it back to burpees. I haven't trained 80 burpees or I haven't done any of the work for strength, but now I'm going to say I'm going to do all these all day, every day. We're setting ourselves up for failure. And I think looking at a realistic approach to everything of, what time do I have? What energy do I have? Um, Remembering that things take longer than we often want it to, and expect it to. Like I know you guys just celebrated 6 years of TFA. I'm guessing day one, just like when I started my business day one, I was like, okay, people are just going to love it and they're going to sign up and money's going to roll in and I'm going to help all these people. And that's not how it works. It's not how it worked for me. Hopefully it did for you,
Yeah,
maybe,
no,
but
we had some ups and downs. That's true.
yeah. And it's, remembering that everything's a process and like
Hmm.
bringing the process back to it. Um, as a musician, I forgot what it's like to be a beginner as a musician. And so I've been doing it my whole life and I got good at playing music, but I wasn't maybe good at business or I wasn't good at running. When I joined the Air Force, I needed to do this stuff. It's like, go back to that beginner mentality of what do I need today? What's enough for today
Hmm.
to show up and do it again tomorrow? And I think also not comparing where any of us are at our day one to somebody who's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Um, you know, can hopefully help with that. It just takes away some of that idea of like, yeah, maybe I'm not perfect yet, but I'm working towards an idea. I'm working towards something. And the more I can build that, today's step is today's step, tomorrow's step is tomorrow's step, and go from there.
Hmm. I love that. What can I
If that
do
answers your
today?
question. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. What can I do today? What can I sustain today? And what's the step for
Yeah.
tomorrow? That's a great way
Yeah.
to break it
And,
down.
and maybe today, maybe just like your February, maybe we just need rest. Maybe
Hmm.
sometimes it's, we think we're supposed to push all the time, but maybe I just need to take a day off. Sometimes we need a day off for our mind and our body and get sleep
Hmm.
and so we can show up a little bit, if I'm tired and, if I'm only 50%, but I give all 50%, that's giving 100% in my
Hmm.
opinion. So, how can we show up and be our best without that perfectionist idea?
Yeah,
And it's
this has
hard.
been so a wealth of knowledge and resources. I really appreciate you breaking down the specific elements that musicians can approach: the sleep, the food, exercise, stress management. If there was one specific thing that you would tell everyone listening to go do today, an action point, as we like to finish our episodes with, do you know what that would be?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say go outside, move your body. Do something physical. Whether and it doesn't have to be hard. Not 80 burpees. I do want to hear. I'm excited to hear how you do on.
I'm gonna write you.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
And again, whatever it is, it's a win. But I would say just go do something towards a goal. For me, it's physical activity always helps me get moving. Right now in Denver, it's like 70 degrees. It's nuts. I can't believe it's this warm, but just go stand outside for a minute. I think is a great place to start. Or drink water.
All right.
The two I would start with.
Okay.
Go for a walk and drink water.
Okay. Everyone can do that today. Go for a walk, drink water. How can we find you? How can we follow you, Jeremy? This has been so great.
Yes. So you can follow me on Instagram. I'm at Health with Jeremy. Same thing on Facebook, but I'm not as active on Facebook. Or you can find me on my website, backstagewellness.com. I would love to talk to people. I'm a helper. I love to help people. If you're struggling with anything that we've talked about health and wellness wise, I'm always happy to have a conversation. It's a free conversation to start. It is a business at some point, but if you contact me, we'll do exactly what I talked about. We'll have a conversation where your sticking points, where you're trying to go, and I'll leave you with an action step specific for you for today that you can start today. And
fantastic.
Build from there.
Yeah. Okay, so if you're struggling with anything health-wise, everybody listening, just reach out to Jeremy. And then I think you mentioned you have like a 4-month program for the first step that people can look at signing up for, if that's interesting.
I do. Yeah.
And I just want to thank you for your work and how you're supporting the musician community. It's extremely important that we have multiple people helping keep everybody alive and well and doing what they're supposed to be doing. So yeah, thanks for your contribution.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for your contribution as well. What you're doing is amazing and helping people with their business. I love it. It's great.
Thank you so much. Okay, everybody listening, thanks for being here, and we'll see you on the next episode. Be fearless. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you for listening to the Fearless Artist Podcast. If you found today's episode inspiring, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to share this podcast with a friend. To join our membership or one of our coaching programs, visit our website at thefearlessartistmastermind.com.
This episode was produced by Pokey Huang at PH Media Studios in New York City. We're Deanna and Michelle, encouraging you to create your own opportunities and to go after what you want. You have what it takes to build the career of your dreams. Until next time, be fearless.